Okay.
So it looks green. Greetings, YouTube. Hello.
And I'll have to quick jump on the volume and turn it down.
All 0 people who are watching us on YouTube. So,
okay, I can hear you now.
Oh, there you are. Hey, Dad.
Oh, wait, I don't see you though.
Okay, now I'll put me on. I won't you. Okay, you can hear me.
Yep, we can hear you.
The video.
Video. Okay, you should be able to see me shortly if I can start. Oh, there I am.
Yay! Hi, Paul.
Okay. Sorry, I'm late.
How was dinner?
That's okay.
The dinner was, a table for 6. They were fairly interesting people.
What'd you have? Anything good?
No, the food is awful. I ordered doubles of everything to try each thing, hoping that it'll be good food, but
I
You
looked
eat
at
the
the
same-
menus for your place. It all sounds good.
well, maybe good for you, but not so good for me.
Well, maybe
A lot
it's
of
just
people love the
prepared
food.
poorly. That could be it. It sounds good, but it might still suck.
Just they don't know how to cook. I mean, it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Do you eat with the same people? Kind of have a group of friends, or you mingle?
No, I have only certain people I sit with. Most of the time, I avoid everyone. So,
Shocker. Well, you must be a hot commodity, Paul.
oh no! I wouldn't get these women here. Yoy.
Right back.
Well, I mean,
Not our best.
you might not like them, but they might like you because aren't men a minority?
Oh, a vast minority. As a matter of fact, the people I ate with, the 2 of them were coupled off already. There was only one 97-year-old, would you believe, South African.
Oh, wow. I bet you she was
It's
interesting.
amazing. He used to be a tennis champ.
Oh, it's a he. Okay.
It's a he, and he's very short, but he's in wonderful shape, and he's the world's fastest eater.
Oh,
Can't
but I
keep
bet
up
he
with
has a great
food.
accent, though.
So it's hard for me to understand him, but he keeps eating like scary.
So guys, I have a question. So Gretchen, it looks like it's 5 o'clock here on the nose. Is the broadcast actually started? Because
Nope, it says 1 minute and 21 seconds.
Oh, okay. So I'm a little bit ahead. So
I got 116.
Hey, how's your eye, Ed?
it's getting better. I can't see anything. You probably have better vision than I do right now because I'm not wearing any glasses, and so I've just expanded the screens actually to, humongous font because I have huge screens here, so I can do that. So as long as I'm here, I can see well enough. As long as I don't leave. No, when I get off camera, I'll wear glasses again. But yeah, it's getting much better. Charlie did a good job.
Are you going to change your background?
No, so this is for you guys. So
Oh,
you're
okay,
gonna have to live
okay.
with me like this. And how come it says my power is running out of this pile of crap laptop? Pardon my French, everyone. I know we're broadcasting right now. Let me go and fix that.
That's not French. That's just pile of crap. You didn't say hunk of shit or anything.
I think we're live now. Hello, everyone, or we should be at least.
Nope, 19 seconds.
Hang on a second. Let me.
Yeah, but there'll be a delay
this.
also,
Oh
Gretchen,
my God,
usually
this
between
laptop
us and
is
the
just-
stream.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah, but it's a
designed
delay,
to
right?
drive me crazy. Okay, there we go.
Okay, let's see. Stream will start soon.
Okay, so hopefully it'll start for everybody in a few seconds. Audentio set up a sort of phased login for people where instead of having everybody come in at once, it slowly opens the door for people.
Lobby has gone live. It's what it says. All right, I'm going to refresh. Let's see what happens. Oh, there we are. Now I see you.
Oh, perfect.
Yep.
See?
Oh, shoot.
Yep.
Did I just...
Do you see me or do you see you?
No, no, I see you. I see you.
And if I go
And
like...
it looks like there's all of me and Steven here right now.
So if I go like this, do you actually see our sponsors up on the screen now?
Oh, I saw them as soon as it popped up. All I just see you do is rubbing your hands together right now.
Okay, so you're watching in Zoom though. I mean, like on the broadcast.
No, I'm looking on Realms.
But you have to shut off the volume. Gretchen, or you get double.
No, it didn't. It was automatically muted.
Mine, I had to do it.
All right, wait a second. Maybe I'm behind here. All right, now I see the sponsors. I guess I was behind. All right, all I see are sponsors.
I don't see
No,
sponsors.
I got Paul.
There- there-
All
there's
right.
It
sponsors
keeps
up.
showing
You-
me a few seconds behind for some reason. I had
That's
that
the
problem
way.
before, but yeah, so I don't see
Right.
anybody. All I see the sponsor slide and that's it.
Okay, that's what you're supposed to see right now because that's all I have up. So
Okay, that's a
now,
good
now I'm
reason.
going to show you guys. So
I actually see Paul.
I see Steve, I see you, see Gretchen, but no sponsor.
He just took the sponsors down, so now it's whoever is the active speaker.
yep, and that would be you. So
Nope, I don't see any sponsors. Okay.
No, the sponsors are gone now,
I'm
Paul.
good.
Pull it to the end, Paul. Also, pull the tab to the end, and you'll get real time. Not real
it
time, but
should
close to
actually
real
come
time.
up in real time. Like I'm not sure why it's not.
That's throughout CEwire, Adam, that sometimes is a challenge for me that I would have to, it just drags and I have to pull the little tab all the way over to the right to make sure that I'm watching something live. I don't know why it does that.
And hi, Fontini, Patricia, and David. Any questions? Please put it in the chat.
So I think it's just us here. Oh no, we have a Patricia Fontaine. That's what you just said, Steve. Duh.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
But I don't have a. I can't get a chat window on the bottom. For some reason that disappeared. I'll refresh it.
Oh,
Do you have
mine's,
Is yours on?
yep.
I'll try to refresh it.
I wish I were able to have another comment a little more quickly.
Oh, I know. When I click on the people, then the chat window disappears.
Yeah.
So are the sponsors going to come on in real time now, or what are we doing at vendor night?
we are.
If they want to, there were some people who said they wouldn't. So everybody got the invite and I said they could pop on from any time and we'll see if they do.
How about participants? Regular ODs?
Well,
Yeah,
not
they got
for,
they got a blast pool. Everybody who's attending the conference has a link to it.
So they can come,
Knows.
anyone
Yeah.
can come on now.
Well, yeah. So I guess the on-demand feature is probably off by now.
no, on demand was still there when I came into, I mean, it's still live until tomorrow morning, or midnight, I would guess.
Let's see, we have any more people? Nope. I guess they can all kick the tires.
Interesting. I don't see you listed as one of the people, Steve.
Let's see if I see you.
I see myself.
Yes, I don't see me. But I see me when I'm when I go back to the chat, you see my name there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, it's weird. It just doesn't look, now there's 6 people watching,
Yeah, it updated. Yeah, so you make
but
the
I'm not seeing.
6th, but you are not listed as 6, which is bizarre.
Yeah, it'll come in. I'm gonna refresh it, see if I come in now. Let me just try. It's buffering now. I don't like that. Oh, come on.
Well, I'm glad that we have some people popping in tonight. It would be nice if they would say hello. Tell us how you're doing, what classes you're interested in taking tomorrow. We're here for everybody, so yeah.
Mhm. And yeah, now I'm populated. If you look, you'll find me. You got me?
Hang on.
I,
Let me
I,
go.
I, I see me and I see a new Cindy's gone. Hi, Cindy.
Nope, I might need to, let me refresh
Yeah,
too.
I refreshed. That's how I got you. Not me.
Maybe
I'm a
somebody is.
hard person to get.
Yes, now I see you and I see Cindy. Hi, Cindy. And it looked like somebody else had left, so we're still at 6. But at least I
Mhm.
see you now.
We've had other times of this, evening. We had 30 or 40 people at once. A lot of them had good questions, but any questions, please ask. We're here to answer them. That's what this is about, as well as seeing what's happening.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So who'd you interview yesterday?
Oh boy. We had well, we talked to Rhonda Meyer from Locate Strategy last week.
Mhm.
And who did I talk to? I talked to MacuHealth. I talked to OGS. I talked to Visionics twice. I talked to,
So it's all paid for each one for like a half an hour, you said? You said like
no, some of them
4 hours?
were shorter. We kept them pretty tight. Hang on. I did have a list of everybody I talked to. I just totally blanked on them. Let's see here. Sponsors. Okay. I talked to Leo Hadley. I talked to OGS. I talked to Oculus. I talked to TEC, I Consortium. And I talked to Viola Kanevsky. I talked to Kayla Ashley, to Lil Kalazinski, and Shayna Sullivan.
All good interviews.
Yeah, there were, and I really appreciate their time that they were willing to jump on with me. So yeah, it
All
was
of them
great.
are
We had some conversation. And then Adam and I today filmed some intros and outros to each of those. We also filmed 2 takes or 2 different versions, although they're very similar, of how to get help, what we're here for, come pose questions in the chat or use the email support or the
Mhm.
support email. And then we also did a sponsor run through.
So do we have a schedule yet for Saturday, Sunday?
There
When
is no schedule, Paul, because
He's
we
talking
did,
about the
because
he's
we
talking about the
did,
lectures.
I'm sorry, Steve?
He's talking about the lectures, I think. He said Saturday and Sunday.
No, you're talking about the interview schedule, right?
is,
Oh
are
yeah.
you gonna have one? To know when we're on live and when these things
I
are
think
being,
No, we
we're gonna
eliminated
ban.
the live interviews this time, so we have more time to go into the rooms and also to help people.
understood. But what, we have a schedule when each person is gonna be on Saturday and Sunday? So how do we
No,
know when to be here to chat with one another?
we're going to be here all day just like before.
But we'll be more in the conference hall, in the rooms and in the lobby to help support Adam because it's a little bit easier. So in other words, we're not gonna do as much of a telethon as a help group. So
Fontini
click
just
on your
had a
name,
message
but
for us.
telethon as a
So we're not gonna have a 1 or 2 hour break in the middle of the day?
Fontini just had a message for us.
telethon as a
So I just don't understand. We're obviously gonna be on in the morning. And then you're gonna be putting some things that you filmed on after that. Is there gonna be any breaks between the films?
Oh, I'm sure there will be some breaks. And if at any point one of us needs to pop off to take 20 minutes or an hour or whatever, we certainly can. Yeah, because what Adam had said earlier, we've got about 3.5 hours of content that we have just put together. And plus we might show a webinar. So yeah, we're going to be on live tomorrow to chat, and we will all still be here on the Zoom, but we won't be live streaming so that we can better help everyone.
He's just, because he doesn't really go into the conference, Gretchen. He's wondering where he goes.
Oh,
He doesn't
okay.
really go to Realm at all to see the
Got it.
web.
Well, we'll still all be here and we can all chat, and we'll still be keeping the Zoom live just because we'll need to communicate with each other.
Mhm. But the live stream will be not the Zoom line, but what they're playing that they tape.
Mm-hmm. And I want to say hi to Fontini, who did pop a message up and say hello. So thanks for being here, and in tonight to see what's what. If you have any questions, please pose them to us in the chat. We still have Patricia and Cindy here, so welcome.
But Fontini won the prize for the longest name that I've ever seen, 17 letters. Remember when you used to fill out those computer sheets when you took the test and they had like 10 spaces for your last name? I wonder
I
what
had a
Fontini
hard
did.
time sometimes with my first name.
Yes. If you click on your name, Gretchen, not only are you a ticket holder, a registered person, but you're a speaker.
Oh, I didn't click
Incredible.
on. Yes, wow, look at that. I look very important. I guess I'm legacy.
Yeah, I guess I'm legacy also. It's good. That's why we're green and he's white. We're speakers or whatever else they choose.
Well, I guess, yeah, speakers have always been green, and I guess because we are official helpers that we are green as well.
Mhm. Okay, let's see if there's any more new people. No. Any questions of anybody here as to how to do things in the conference? Is this your first time here, or have you been here before? And just kind of kicking the tires again.
I'm betting that that as we go through after, I think the very first one of the year of these is the most important, simply because that's when people may have trouble logging in.
Right. You should have been here in April on Saturday, though.
Yeah,
That
and I
was
am really sorry that I wasn't.
well, you couldn't do anything anyway. It was a challenging
Yeah,
hour and a half when
well, I
people couldn't
just
get
feel
into the room.
bad that you guys had to field it without me.
That I was
Okay,
feeling the front out. It was
I'm going to ask a very dumb question because I am clueless here. I'm seeing you guys and, on the Zoom thing,
Hmm.
getting the other things. Are you registered to get the other questions? How are you getting on to see the questions from people? I'm only getting a single screen. The one I'm
Yes,
watching.
because we're logging into the actual conference and in
you
the
have to go
lobby.
into
So I have
Audencio's conference, and then you click on the live stream there, and that's where we're getting the other stuff.
we have two screens going on your screen.
Yeah, I don't think you can. Paul probably does have privileges to get in there, but normally you have to register for the conference, and they put you in, Gretchen, because they put you in. Can you hear me?
Hmm.
Okay.
So are you using two computers or just one on one screen, side
No,
by side?
no, one computer, and one of the tabs in my browser is the website where the conference is taking place, and on the bottom is my Zoom, which is another tab basically. Yeah, it's not a tab. It's just Zoom. It just plays separately. So you never went into Audencio's software, right? You never saw the conference itself, Paul. Maybe Adam could give you a link to that, but he has to give him privileges to get in because he's not registered.
Let me see if I can just get on to the. Okay, let me
Well,
play with it a while. We'll see.
I'll just try to do this. Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm putting the link in the chat, and that doesn't matter because he can't see
That
the
won't
chat.
help.
Yeah, I'm an idiot. Let me just see if I can do it here. No, okay, let's see if I can do it in notes. No. That one, huh? No.
Okay, what's
I'm trying to get him into a whiteboard, but that's not going to work either.
what just happened there? Oh. Hmm.
Well, Frontini is looking forward to the live stream tomorrow. There'll be a lot of nice interviews that we've taped, a lot of information, and we'll be back and forth. And you could holler and yell at us if you help. It's amazing how few people, because he sent it out to the whole. I don't know what total we have now, but we've got to be getting close to 4,000 because I know we get a lot of people registering this last few days.
Mm-hmm.
I was all. Do you see my? I know you're on Facebook. I put the information on basically like 30 Facebook pages and probably 10 LinkedIn pages, maybe 12. Do you ever see them, Gretchen?
I have been so busy I haven't looked. Not this
Okay.
time.
Today was my one day more where I showed there's two of them that are from one's the 20th anniversary, one's something else, and I put the one day more link in and just some basic information, and I get a few laughs.
Yeah, I need to put some stuff up. I meant to earlier today, and then I just got sucked into other stuff.
Well,
So,
but I covered basically every optometric Facebook page that you could that has any amount of people. Some of them don't allow me to do it. They might allow you. Do you have privileges and ODs on Facebook?
Mhm. Yeah, but I would never advertise this there. That would not be a cool thing to do.
You're not allowed to do that? Oh
I'm
yes,
sure
you are.
I could,
For
but
$10,000, yes.
yeah, it would not be appropriate for me to do that.
Yeah. There are a couple of, there's one or two sites, the big sites that have banned me from, I can post, but I can't post that. They take it up right away. Well, they actually have to approve it before it goes on. But I put in like keywords like ODs, optometrist, optometry, eye, and I get the most action actually from ODs from New York State and everything else.
Mhm.
And my own page, private practice in optometry, has 6,000 people. I get a lot from that, but they know me because I'm the
Yeah.
admin there.
Well, you want to be careful sometimes with posting that stuff. If you aren't regularly on there and contributing, then that just looks like spam. If you put it
Yeah,
on all these other windows, and
but yeah,
that's
but
not cool. I don't want to piss people off.
right, but they know CEwire enough to know that it's a decent thing. But like for example, Walt Mayo doesn't allow me to post on his sites. He's the guy from Seco, and I
Hmm.
don't allow him to post on my site because for a while he was posting, like you said, like 5 a day about whatever he wanted to say. And I said, no, you can't do it anymore. You can do it,
Well, I
but
mean,
you have to.
you can post a lot as long as it's relevant and useful, but if all you're doing is advertising stuff, then that's not cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm guessing that it's also a Friday night in June. So I'm wondering if the timing is just tough too, because I'm sure that there are graduations and, you know,
Mhm.
just stuff to do, you know?
Or people are, like you said, there's maybe 200 or 300 newbies and everybody's familiar with it. So why waste their time?
Hmm. Yeah, if they know
I'm
it's
glad
going.
my curmudgeon
I
from
have
yesterday didn't.
I'm registered now, and I've got, on the left-hand side of the screen, I have CEwire 2024 on-demand courses, on-demand quiz links. How do I
Okay,
get?
so if you scroll down, you'll see it says CEwire 2024 live stream in like a box in the middle,
Okay, click that,
and you should then see it.
loading live stream, and now I'm seeing you twice.
Right, but it'll be
Live.
different time.
No, no.
So you could,
So I'm seeing you twice. I'm seeing me now.
yeah, whoever talks, it senses it and it'll put you in.
It's the messages on the, and there's something on the right-hand side of this where people will give messages. Is that?
Yes, you see the chat box on the right-hand side, lower right-hand corner?
So that's where people would be asking
Yeah.
questions.
Do you see how, do you see our information? Oh, if you have to click on the top, it says load previous chats or something like that.
Load previous
It's,
messages.
yeah, it's the middle of that black area on the right-hand side, middle top.
Let me go back.
Because now you're in the actual conference, you actually can see how
Where's the messages again?
if the live stream is playing, it's on the right-hand side, the whole, like, it'll take about a quarter of your computer.
Click onto live stream. I'll click that. That's room 1. Okay, now it says load earlier messages. That's where I would see it?
Yes.
Okay,
So now you'll see, I'll say hi,
right. And the
and
person
you'll
with
see,
a long name is on there.
right. And if you look at the left-hand side where it says, right below where it says CEwire live stream, it says 6 watching. If you click on that, you actually can see who's watching.
Let me go back. Where's that?
On the left-hand side, the lower part, right below the video window.
So it says. I'm being a dummy here. Live and upcoming rooms. Do I have to click the CEwire24 live stream before that happens?
Yes.
That,
No, you have to click on vendor night.
Yeah.
vendor night. Says vendor night, June 7th.
Yep.
Ask us questions using the text chat on the right. That's what you guys are using now?
Mm-hmm.
Can I
Yeah,
put a question in?
yeah, you can put it in the box. Put any question you want, or just say anything. That'll go up in real time.
All I'm getting is your picture. Gosh.
This is what will be tomorrow, but we'll decide. Now we can gang up on people if they don't show up for the lecture.
Yes.
Well, did you get confirmations from speakers? I assume they were sending it. Yes, I'll be here. Yes,
A
I'll be
lot
here.
of them. Yeah. I sent out calendar invites and most people accepted. And then a couple of hours ago, I resent them to those who I haven't heard back from. And I
If you
just
get
got
a,
one
if you,
now.
Mhm.
So yeah.
If by tomorrow you have 1 or 2 that you don't get, I'll push them. Just let me know. You know, before we go. We're gonna be here 9:30 tomorrow.
I believe so. Mm-hmm.
Let me see what your Zoom link says. Start Saturday 9:15 actually.
I don't know. I'm not going to be here at that
Yeah,
time.
9:30
We've
I'll
got
be
a
here.
question from Sarah. Sarah, what you want to do to go from room to room? Well, first, the lectures are not live now. This will be for tomorrow and Sunday when the lectures go live, that you can go to any room from the lobby. If you see, and we would be in similar to what is the lobby now, you would click on the back button. And that will take you out to where the lobby is, and you can go to room 1, room 2, room 3, room 4. You can see it when they go live. You will see it there tomorrow morning. And just remember that you want to stay in the room for the entirety of the lecture and then take the survey to make sure you get credit. You don't want to go from room to room to room throughout a lecture period.
And the good thing, Sarah, is to plan your day. So look at the whole schedule and see what maybe you want to take in room 1, 2, 3, or 4 at 10 o'clock, etc., and then plan around that so you know where you're going for the next hour or 2 hours. Sometimes they're 2 hours. So kind of plan your day out rather than having to search at that moment. You have plenty of time, but still, it's better to know what you're doing beforehand.
And thanks for jumping in tonight. This is exactly the goal of what we wanted to do tonight. So I'm glad that you came to ask. Thank you.
Like Adam says, everything will be open tomorrow morning, so you can see the schedule in kind of graphical form and know what to do. Mhm. It's interesting. I'm watching the Yankee game on Apple TV because that's what's being televised, and I have my computer on my second computer here, seeing what's happening, and the game is actually 20 seconds behind real time.
Oh, Sarah has another question. Sarah, these are just text questions, so no, we can't see you or hear you at all. This is simply text-based chat. So this is the best way and the fastest way to ask us questions tomorrow and
Right.
Sunday throughout the conference.
With 4,000 people, it would be impossible to have everybody raise their hand at the same time. We're Zooming and then putting the Zoom in the live stream here. We're Zooming on a different YouTube platform.
How many seconds is the delay?
I'd say a good 30 seconds.
Yeah, looks like it.
Well, let me do something here. I'll raise my hand. Hi. Now I'll go see when my hand comes up.
Okay, about 15.
11, 12, 13, 14.
Your hand
Still
went up.
hasn't come. Still hasn't come up. I'm trying to see how
Might be
long.
getting some of our vendors coming on because they're messaging me to say
I'm trying to see how long.
the Zoom link isn't working. So
because
Yeah,
they're
you
messaging me to say
uh-oh, so now something happened here.
the Zoom link isn't working. Because
Somebody unmuted.
messaging me to say
Uh-oh, so now something happened here.
the Zoom link isn't working.
muted. So Paul, you can't have your computer on. You can't have the audio on at the same
There,
time
I just
that
muted
you're
him. Paul, you need to have the audio down on the
computer.
on the that one window. And there's Rhonda.
Woo! Hey there.
Hey, you weren't the only one who had trouble with that link. Apparently, I'm sending that link to everyone and something is wacky with it. So you are not the only person. I apologize.
That's okay. Here we are. Looks like everybody's on vacation but me.
Oh, yeah, really. I think
Kind of.
I think because it's June, a Friday in
Mhm.
early June, it means that people are going to graduations and it's
Yeah.
and
I think
also
she's
too,
referring to our backgrounds.
beg
Yeah,
pardon?
I wondered
I
about
think she's
that.
referring to our backgrounds.
Mm, sorry.
But since you've been there, I did open up a practice by the Senior Citizen Center in Florida, and it's booming because I saw it was empty. I'm kidding, Rhonda, but we looked at all the places that might be fertile. We found one, a
Mhm.
really good one. And who else
There
is
we
on now?
go. Hi, David. You managed to come on in. This is David from Oculus, and he is here chatting with us tonight. And yeah, I was just telling, we have Rhonda Meyer from Locate Strategy here as well, and I apologize to her, and I will to you for the bad Zoom link. I don't know what happened. It just seemed to it got tired, I guess. Everybody is having trouble.
That's okay. And then of course I think it's me. So then I start restarting my computer and then it wants to update when you restart your computer because that always happens. And yeah,
Mhm.
that's how it goes.
You know, I think at one point, every time I had, this was a couple of jobs ago, but every time I had a Zoom meeting, I would open it up and it would say, Zoom needs to update, then restart. And yeah, every single time, or Teams would do that.
Yup.
So I guess you guys had some good interviews yesterday with Gretchen. Any
Yes,
trade secrets in it?
I talked with Rhonda last Friday, and then I spoke with Bill Tulo. All the days are running together. Yesterday, day before, I think it was yesterday. So yeah, we had some great conversations, and we will be playing those throughout the weekend. Um, Bill was telling us about things going on with Myopia Master, and talking about the new specialty lens division, which is so exciting. I'm really thrilled about that and can't wait to see more. And then Rhonda shared with us another really, really cool demo of locate strategy. And I'm just itching to get my hands on that to play with it myself, but I'm betting that she won't let me. So yeah, we have those great conversations that we're going to share tomorrow. And Adam is
Yeah,
here,
Bill's
by
in.
the way. He's just took a different computer and is talking with some folks with a tech issue. So it looks like he is not there. You see just his chair on the Zoom, but he is chiming in, and he will get back down to his studio in a few minutes.
And David, he could have used some anterior segment OCT stuff this week with an eye problem. So we're not immune to these things, even though we talk about them. And I can't, if I tell you what he had, then he could HIPAA me, violating his HIPAA rights.
I think you just hippied
I
yourself.
think I did. Yeah, I think I did it anyway. Yeah, you're right.
Well, I
Um,
think we all had a HIPAA problem because when Adam went to Charlie McBride's office, actually he texted Shayna Sullivan, who's one of our speakers, and she said, "Come right over." And I said, "Tell them." So Charlie emails it to Adam, who sends it to me, and then I go put it up on ODwire and start
oh yeah,
a thread.
only 28,000 people saw it, so it's
No
all
big
good friends.
No big deal. Yeah. So
You know,
we
the strange part was that there was a million different approaches how to heal Adam's eye. You gotta worry when you go into an eye practitioner, which is the right approach. And the embarrassing question I did ask is when is it when you send it over to an ophthalmologist that limits their practice to cornea? And most optometrists said that they can handle most cases. Right, Steve? Are you comfortable
Yeah, I
handling?
mean that's routine. I probably had one of them a week, if not more. Um, and that's why I really you can listen to this both Rhonda and David. I get really pissed off at how many ODs don't treat anything, whether it be glaucoma or even a red eye, if they work for certain places. I won't get too specific. And I mean, we have all this education, we fight for all these drug laws, and they don't do crap. I mean, and everything gets referred out, and they're afraid to treat what Adam had, which is basically if you don't treat it right, it can go bad. But hey, is a body of knowledge. I learned a body of knowledge. An ophthalmologist is a body of knowledge, same experience. Unless you have to do something that is beyond your scope, you should have some brain cells and do it. So I'll get off my high horse now. But optometry is. I'm sure you. I don't know if you go into the pits, David, of each practice, but I'm sure you see some variability, let's say, in how we practice in our field.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, a great example is we were going around visiting Keratograph customers just because of an internal project, just dropping in and checking with them. And there are keratographs out there that have done 3,000 patients in the last 5 years. And I was at one that had 27 patients on it in the last 6 years.
Yeah.
Wow. They
Yep.
certainly are not using the tools that they have in their toolbox, are they? Like, why bother?
Not so much. So it's kind of like, and the doctors, it's like just down the street from each other, same demographics. See, it's kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's
you see everything when you're out there. I mean, that's just a microcosm of
Yeah.
what we saw. But
27 patients in 6 years, and the Keratograph can do so much. I mean,
yeah,
wow, that just blows my mind. Blows my mind.
yeah,
I mean,
mine
that would be
too.
part of a normal workup for a contact lens patient. It's getting about keratoconus and things like that. You just don't. I had your original Keratograph. I think it was 2011 or 2010 or 2009,
Yeah,
and we updated it again. But people are even asking now, should I get an OCT? I can't afford it. I had one in 2011, and it was, wasn't the resolution that we have now, but it's just crazy how there's such variability. And there's not an ophthalmology. I'm sure there's some spectrum, but optometry goes from spinning the dials and contacts and glasses to treating everything and anything except for surgical cases.
Yep.
Well, there's Adam. It looks like he's wandered back. He probably can't hear us till he puts on his
Yeah.
his
He should try
earbuds.
he should try plugging in his computers. He'll get a lot more power time out of them.
You don't want to know how many computers that man has. He calls it like the junk closet. I mean, he'll just go rummage around and pull out a part and pull out a part. And I mean, he's got so much there that, I mean, it could be the bunker or the situation room with everything that he has going on. And I mean, you heard him say earlier that he has a 32-inch monitor. That's just one of them that he has going on there. I mean, it's almost a scary place.
It's like the
Last
size of my
conference,
TV.
I'm sorry, Rhonda?
It's like the size of my TV.
last conference, he pulled out something that was 12 years old to get his video running because his regular thing wasn't, and it worked fine.
Yeah, I guess that's why tech geeks never throw anything away, because you never know when you might need something. And I am not a tech geek, but I've got tons of cables and things for equipment that I likely no longer have, but I'm afraid to throw it away because as soon as I do, I'm like, oh
You'll
crap,
need it.
I need it. And I couldn't tell you what all
Yeah.
of those cables are right now, but I'm going to need it as soon as it goes in the recycle bin.
Yeah.
I threw away my TiVo. A couple of things I had in my closet. Trying to think of the old stuff. The red,
TiVo.
white, and yellow things I still keep just in case you have to plug into an old audio visual system. But you never know.
Yeah.
The RS-232 ports, the ones that plugged into the that I threw away. I had one I saved just in case I go to an old college again.
I
So
gotta
you guys,
tell you, once we got a DVR, I just loved it. And we cut the cable cord some years back now. I can't remember how many. And that's the one thing that I miss, just going and picking out something to watch and hitting the button and not having commercials or not having to think about it. I mean,
Yeah.
streaming is great in so many ways, but that part is hard because I would just set it to record things I wanted. And whenever I wanted to watch something, like, oh, what do I've got? An episode here, boom.
But now all the streaming services are starting to put ads up unless you pay more.
Yeah, well, they're
Hulu,
not stupid. I mean, they're figuring out that this is the way to go. And so let's see. HBO Max just went up. My Hulu just went up. And at some point we're going to be deciding, okay, what are we going to get rid of?
Mhm. Or just have more kids and share with them until you get kicked off.
They're
Yeah, but
wising
they're
up.
getting smart about that now.
See? Yep, what David says. Yeah, I mean, Netflix really started with that, cracking down on.
Really cracked down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The coolest thing though is I'm in Florida 8 months a year, and I'm in New Jersey now 4 months a year, and I'm in a place that I had to put in. QR code comes up. And then you go boom, and it's on the TV set. Because your phone tells them who you are, and that's where they know that you're not stealing a service from a guy in Florida. It's you. So they know it's you and
So with seeing you stream in Florida and then seeing you stream in New Jersey, and so they know it is
right.
you.
Exactly. I'm curious, you guys, how much feedback have you had from the first conferences as far as your products or your services? Have you had any decent results?
Well, I think it's hard to tell because Rhonda just jumped on board with
Right, she wasn't in
location
February. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's I think with Oculus, I think it would be hard to tell if you're getting any feedback from anyone from sponsoring the conference, and I don't even know if you're the right person to ask, David.
You know, it's the whole post-COVID education trade show environment is just so different that we're really trying to get our hands around what is impactful and what isn't. And what we've really found is just a shift in how doctors buy technology
Mm,
post-COVID. And it revolves less around the in-person big meetings. And it's more of a name recognition, getting your message out game these days, it seems, because we do as much or more business, but we do a heck of a lot less of it at the big meetings.
Wow. So maybe
that's
we should go to AOA. We'll be there in Nashville. You guys going?
Yeah, we'll be in Nashville. Yeah, I mean, we'll be there. We don't really probably expect to sell too much in Nashville, but we'll be there and put our shingle out and show our stuff, and we'll get sales out of it, but probably not for a little ways down the road.
Yeah, we've been talking about this for years now, even before COVID, but after COVID, definitely that some of these smaller conferences might go by the wayside, the SECOs and the smaller regional ones, and maybe just have Vision Expo East, Vision Expo West, and even those were not as populated, as you all know. You were at SECO, I wasn't, Gretchen, you thought it was much smaller, correct?
Yep. And it'll be interesting to see what happens next year when Expo East moves to Florida.
Yes.
And I mean, next year is going to be hard because one, it's the first year, and two, it and SECO are almost on top of each other. But after that, I know that the meeting is going to move more toward its usual time. It was just a matter of availability.
I was going to check SECO. But not
everybody wants to do that. Everybody's got different reasons to go. I think it will be interesting that, especially with the Expo coming down from that COVID slope. Yeah, I mean, things are going to shake out. They're going to be a little different. And yeah, I wonder. Things go in cycles. Big meetings or big meetings again. Big meetings for a few years, and then we're going to break out. for vendors to attend, because not only are you paying for booth space, then you're paying for the travel of your employees who are there, and you're not getting your regular job done. But for you guys, your equipment folks, there's a whole lot with shipping equipment, getting it set up, and it's a whole operation for equipment manufacturers to attend meetings. And when you start adding additional meetings onto your slate, it spreads everybody really, really thin.
And very expensive for them also. If you go from Seco to Vision Expo in a couple of weeks, I mean, just think of all the hotels they have to do and airfares and things like that. It just gets. I know the footprint said that just be used like you, and now the smallest you're taking. So even at Javits, you'd have mahogany rooms and with carpeting, be like a whole half an acre for exotic.
Mahogany rooms
like
and nice carpeting.
Yeah.
Wow, that's living large.
Absolutely.
Oh, the frame companies go all out at Vision Expo East. Their booths are impressive.
Yeah, they do. But so
And
how
then
are
when
you
you go-
finding that, David, with all of your staffing? Are you finding that you are needing to rethink who goes where? And I'm not even sure, what is your role with Oculus?
So I'm the regional sales director for the East. So I run the East half of the sales team.
Got it.
Yeah.
So are you finding that you are going to less meetings, or your team is going to less meetings? I take it that's a no.
In the heart of trade show season, so like March, April, I was home 16 days.
Wow. You might have to sign in when you go home if you have family, or reintroduce yourself to the dog.
Yeah, I've been home for like 3 weeks straight now, and my family doesn't know what to do with me.
They're ready for you to get out.
So AOA will be the first trip in like a month, which is crazy. But yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean, I've been in this industry since 2010 in sales and sales management. So I mean, this is how it works. I mean, you really want to talk to doctors outside of the clinic, wherever that is, because how a pentacam can change how they fix themselves, or why accident measurement is important. They don't want to have those conversations on that. So that's why it's important. And in like the online settings, like this, where Bill's going to be talking tomorrow, right? That's really good from our perspective, because it helps us get our message out and generate interest, where then they can reach out to us and we can have those conversations with them when they want to have those conversations. I think that's what is more and more common.
Not everybody.
Somebody going to buy an OCT or buy something that you're selling, right? They're just looking at the vendors to see which is better price, better technology, better leasing, etc. So I don't think you find many people who change their mind at a conference that they get a major piece of equipment, unless I'm wrong. I know I always did it that way, and went with the idea that I was going to buy something, and just which one I was going to buy, and I kicked the tires and everything.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing that's been a little bit of a disruptor on the Oculus side is our new IPL offerings, because that's something that people aren't used to seeing from Oculus, and they come by to look at the keratograph, for example, and as a dry diagnostic, and then they see the Darwin over there and they go, what's that? Well, that's our IPL RF device. So you have one of those? Yeah, we have one of those. and it's really stinking awesome too. So that's one where that's kind of the thing where you kind of got to get it out there, get it in front of doctors so that they can see it, because it's not, I mean, if you're looking for a topographer, I mean, you call Oculus. I mean, we've got a bunch of different topographers that can do all kinds of cool things depending on what the doctor wants to do. But calling Oculus for an IPL, I mean, that's kind of the new phenomenon.
Yep, we have one at our office, and you're afraid at the beginning, but once the staff buys into it, number one, it's great. Number two, it's a cash cow and it differentiates you. And then you have the guys in places just spinning the dials, but we're making people look better and feel better and paying for it.
Yeah,
As you know, because it's not going to buy insurance. So whoever doesn't have an IPL, I'm telling you, go to Oculus and buy one today and you'll be happy.
yeah.
People will pay for cosmetics as well as help with their dry eye, etc., and their conditions.
Yeah, well, we were seeing some data. I forget who did the studies and stuff that came out about during COVID and practice revenue related to practices that did specialty care, whether it was dry eye, glaucoma management, retina, those types of things, or the ones that just were spinning the dials. And the practices that were just doing glasses and contacts were really hurting, where the specialty practices weathered the storm much, much better with that type of a situation. So I thought that was
Sure.
interesting.
Because you had a
Rhonda,
lot more time to see the people and present things, so therefore you kept your revenue stream going and you built your reputation.
Yeah.
But Bill's a friend of mine. Bill Tuo, he's a really good guy to have with your company. He's brilliant. He does so
Oh,
many things
I
well.
love Dr. Bill. We have a lot of fun hanging out. He is not only he's a really smart guy, I mean, when it comes to keratoconus and
Mhm.
topography and that kind of thing, I mean, he's a very smart guy. He is a fun guy to hang out with too.
Yeah,
and he's
he
just
did a
such
lot
a
of
great, nice guy.
down to
Yeah.
earth and sweet. Yeah, he's New Jersey guy also, so we all are.
Is
See,
Janet
that's
back
why
yet?
you
By the way,
like.
Is Janet back? So somebody's complaining about the sound, has lots of
yeah,
static.
I told him to refresh the page because sometimes they get static because they're not connected properly. So hopefully you saw my little comment afterwards. By the way, if you're both going to either you're going to Nashville, you invite what time and what places our little get together, Gretchen?
I'll send invites.
Okay. Get free everything, drinks, appetizers,
Oh, wow. All
ca-
right, be careful,
caviar,
Steve.
Dom Perignon.
You
I have
don't
pictures of all
want to
of them.
write checks that Adam isn't going to cash.
Okay.
So Rhonda, I know that Locate Strategy has just recently entered the eye care space, and it has been spending more time in other specialties, dental and it's vet, right?
Yeah, the company started in 2009 and was dental only until this year.
Oh, dental
And
only. Okay.
yeah,
So
yeah,
how
and all
how
private label, so nobody's heard of us.
so how
So we
have the
have
dental
some,
meetings been? Have the dental meetings kind of because you heard what we were talking about optometry meetings, and then David offered a perspective on ophthalmology meetings. What have you heard about the meetings in the dental space?
personally haven't gone yet. But what we're hearing is the regional meetings are better attended than the big national meetings. So on the dental side, the first meeting of the year is in Boston, the third weekend. And the last is Greater New York, the weekend of Thanksgiving. There's a
Mm.
lot of dental meetings. And the thing that when I was in a different capacity, I was in practice financing. The thing that I enjoyed about going to the meetings was being face to face with our referral sources and with the doctors. And it made, to me, I thought it made a great deal of sense to be able to talk to doctors one-on-one, to be able to talk with brokers, attorneys that were part of the professional team that doctors had. And about 40% of our business came from referrals on the trade show floor. When you're talking about financing, that doctors don't want other people to see them in your booth talking about money.
Right.
And we
Yeah.
kind of have the same thing with Locate because doctors don't necessarily want to talk to us in front of other people about either another location or an expansion. They don't mind buying equipment, but they don't want to discuss those types of topics. So that's why we thought maybe starting virtually first to get our name out there before we started doing in-person trade shows. But I'll start in the fall. I'll do 2 vet shows. So we'll
How much
see.
time before you're into the field of optometry did it take you to collect all that data so that you had it for the rank and file, knowing where everybody was. That'll be a couple years of collecting stuff, correct?
Yeah, it's, it's a lot of research, and it's a lot of scrubbing of data before it goes in the database. And then every report is custom. So a doctor is working with an analyst and to kind of narrow down what they're looking for. And then we go through and we validate all the data before we complete a study. So it's labor intensive, and it's interesting. And Gretchen and I have played with my database several times. It's sort of fun.
It is absolutely fun,
Yeah,
and
it's
I want to play with
interesting.
it more.
I had a doctor who wanted to know if she could buy it, and I said, I'm sure you can for about $12 million, just buy the database. But
Well,
there's,
if you,
there's a couple of competitors that have a subscription product, and it works kind of like Zillow, where you kind of pop in parameters for a practice location, square footage, things like that. It's very different from what we're doing, but I thought she was cute. She was really fun to work with.
well, if you recall during our first conversation, Rhonda, one of the first things that I asked you was, so is there a login that we get to use and
Mhm.
we can do this ourselves?
Yeah.
And you very kindly told me to forget about it.
I'm sure I was very eloquent
You
in
were,
saying
you were
that.
very kind and eloquent in telling and laughing and saying, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Oh, Adam has
Yeah.
a question here now. He's not on camera, but he's in the chat. And he says the validation process to me was the most interesting, that you actually figure out the number of hours that other doctors work in their practices. Um, and he said that's something that a doc never could or would do on their own, to get that kind of information along with all of the other information that you're able to share.
Yeah, it's interesting because we're looking for, 2,000, 5,000 patients is the right patient ratio. Well, in order to support that, you've got to have, 5 to 6 times that in population because of ages, age brackets. But the validation process is really important because we actually call the practices and find out how many days the doctor is working, and that's how we come up with the competition information. One, we validate that what we have put into our database is accurate, but two, that's the only way to get an accurate picture of the competition in the area that you're considering. So
It's also
it's interesting. Hmm?
you also help people to purchase practices, so that is vital for them to know when they buy a practice how many hours he's working, whether you can add the hours, etc.
Mhm. Yeah, and it's interesting. We have brokers using our product, we have bankers using our product. And it's such I mean, our report actually prints out at 44 pages, so it's rather daunting. So the fun part is seeing the database in action, but it's a lot of information. And so, my feeling is it puts a doctor in a very different position than being told what they're buying. They're actually seeing it, and they're seeing it kind of come to fruition in front of their eyes. So I had to say that. Um, so, it puts them in more of a knowledge situation. It puts them in the driver's seat, I think. That's what I like about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I just love when we talk and you do a demo, just because I find it so fascinating. Oh, thank you.
David, I found when I would speak to the sales reps at a convention buying a piece of equipment, they never really laid out what I wrote a journal article about, how you can use your purchase and not, well, for example, the doctors don't understand about the 179 election. You know what that is, of course.
Right.
And it works out that almost the first, I used to almost buy things with a $1 buyback 5-year lease, something like that. So it was a capital lease.
Yeah.
So you're able to do that. And so basically the first 2 years of the lease was paid for by your tax savings. And all during that time, you're accumulating money by doing whatever test, a wide field imager, an OCT, IPL, whatever it might be. And then after 5 years, you own it. But I felt that the salesmen were remiss. I was educating them on what they should tell the client. I was trying to get them to sell things. And that conversation should happen more and more because people see $60,000, $90,000. How can they afford, $2,000 a month lease when it really is not affording it because you're saving it on your taxes end as well as eventually owning the equipment and paying nothing. So could I work for you? I'm kidding.
I mean, that's a great point. I mean, to directly answer your question, why sales reps don't have those conversations is I think there's so many variables at play when it comes to taxes and that sort of thing. And you as the doctor know your practice and your tax situation much better than a sales rep could. And I mean, we tell our sales reps a lot of times they just have to kind of give canned answers about, well, you have to check with your accountant and see what your write-offs are this year and that sort of thing. Now you do bring up a good point about the differences between like a lease and being able to write off things. I'm not an accountant or that sort of thing, but I have seen that we haven't really done much of that lately. We used to do it more years ago where we would do the $1 buyout capital leases, but we see more just straight financing these days across the board. And I don't know the reason for that.
Yeah, because it's really the same thing if it's a dollar buyback. There's no residual at the end, so you're basically applying it. Yeah. So there's residual in my car, unfortunately, at the end of the lease. But I had a great experience my last car, just to divert myself to another topic. I only had like 15,000 miles on it. The lease was over. It turned out the car was worth a lot more than the residual. So I bought it and then traded it in. They gave me some sort of credit of like $3, $4, $5,000 for my next car because it was worthwhile for them to buy it for me after I bought it for myself and went from there. So it doesn't happen with OCTs or IPLs now.
No, but the used car market was a little screwy there for a while.
Yeah, exactly. It went up so much and that it was difficult. So what percentage of practices would you say now, David, have an OCT in the whole spectrum of optometry? What percentage? An easy thing on OCT.
I don't know. Oculus doesn't sell an OCT, so I haven't done a lot of research in that market.
So wide field imaging system, whatever it might be. I think it's so few that they still they might have a visual field, they have a puff, they have a little refractor.
It's less than it probably should be.
Sure.
I mean, speaking as someone who has no horse in that race, again, we don't sell an OCT, but it really has become standard of care for glaucoma and retina management and that sort of thing, for sure.
I would say intense pulse lighting, probably 3%, you say, if that.
Maybe. Yeah. And the big thing on IPL is not all IPLs are created equal. There's a very big breadth of technology between some of the lower price IPLs and some of the higher end IPLs. And it's really important for clinicians to do their research and try and understand that. I mean, an IPL, you got to think of it like it's a car, to use your example. And there's a difference between a Toyota and a Lamborghini. They're both cars, but they're very different.
I agree with that. So, and all your devices are electric, none of them are gas powered, right?
Well, if you plug it into a generator, I guess technically it would be gas powered.
Yes, that's true. Bad joke. So I'm here. I'm multitasking. I'm watching the Yankees play the Dodgers. It's nothing. It's a boring game, and this is much more interesting.
Oh, you're not a Yankees fan, are you?
Oh, I'm a big Yankee. I have Yankee rooms all over the place. Yes, I'm a big Yankee fan. Sorry.
You're lucky I talked to him, David.
I was born in the Bronx. You probably couldn't tell from my accent. So it wasn't like I was a front runner or anything like that.
Oh, we can't be friends anymore. I'm a Blue Jays fan.
Where are you located, David?
I'm in Florida.
Oh, we're in Florida because that's where I lived 8 months.
Melbourne.
Okay. So we're a little bit far apart. Hey, but you can drive to Vision Expo East next year.
I know. I love the meetings I can drive to. Those are my favorite.
Yeah. Me too. It means it's a 3-hour drive, but it's no big deal. That's why you're wearing that color shirt, though. I got it. That's a Blue Jay shirt. They suck this year. I hate to say it.
That might be a little strong. They're struggling a little bit.
A little stressed.
Split with the Orioles, so that's not terrible.
Yeah. No,
The
they
Orioles
have,
are solid.
but our newspapers are saying that they're going to trade Bichette and Guerrero and stuff. I don't think they will, but they'll have some sort of fire sale.
They might trade some of their some other players, but we'll see. I mean, they're only 4 games out of the wild card right now, and we're not even in the All-Star
That's
break.
true. Well, even the Mets are only 4 games out, and they do suck. In the wild card.
Rhonda, are you a baseball fan?
Like all kinds of sports. I usually have on the weekends I'll have the TV on with no sound and the music blasting as I do whatever it is I'm going to do. I have a friend who's a big NASCAR fan, so I text with him. I'll be watching the Belmont tomorrow.
That could be interesting.
So-
My wife said, "How come the Belmont is in Saratoga?" You're familiar? They're redoing Belmont Park, and so I think for a couple of years it's been. I've never been to Saratoga, but they said it's gorgeous up there. It's really a nice place to see a horse race and to have a nice little vacation.
It's a pretty area.
So are you going there?
No, I'm going in front of the TV and watch it and
Actually, it's
bet my
tomorrow, right?
sisters.
Oh, and tomorrow is my birthday. I hate to say it. So,
Oh, I didn't know that, Steve.
yeah, well, I didn't know until I looked at the calendar. Yeah, I'll be 39 again.
You know, I'm not surprised now. Adam has popped back. He's addressing a tech issue for tomorrow. But I was gonna say, I thought if we were talking baseball, that might lure him back in because he's a big baseball fan.
Yep.
He's not a Yankees fan too, is he?
No,
I think so.
no, I think he's from Oregon, so he's like Seattle, like that. I'm pretty sure.
I don't
Well,
know.
you know,
Okay.
Actually, for some reason, he's a Mets fan. I think he and his son follow the Mets.
Well,
That's
him and Dr.
unfortunate.
Tulo can commiserate together on that one.
well, Paul's from Adam grew up in New York, I guess, so he's his midlife.
Yeah.
I'm a Phillies fan because I'm in Philly, and I'm more of a rabid Eagles fan than a Phillies fan. But I think rabid and Eagles fan are words that always go together. So
Yes, absolutely.
I assume you're originally from Canada, David?
I am, yes.
Oh, hence
So
the
we-
Blue Jays.
Yeah.
So, what happens with your medical care in Florida when you need something done? Could you get U.S. insurance, or how does it work?
Well, I'm a U.S. citizen, so
It's no problem, yeah. Then
yeah,
it's no
so it's
problem.
everything. My family moved to the States when I was 5, so
Right.
He didn't have a
We have,
say.
yeah.
we have Canadians that live in our development, and when they have something serious, they have to fly back to Canada because they don't have American insurance. And it's kind of
So
crummy.
my relatives, when they come, what a lot of times they'll do is they can buy an insurance policy for when they travel,
Hmm.
Mhm.
and then the Canadian government will pay for whatever they need when they're in the States. But you have to pay for that insurance.
These are full-time residents pretty much that they just don't have citizenship yet, so they have to really wait a month and
Yeah, and there's
something
limits
really
to that, how many consecutive days and stuff they can stay in these
Mhm.
states and all that kind of stuff.
right. It was tough at COVID when they didn't want to go back, but then they were stuck here or there.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Wait, can't believe
I
it's
was
me.
surprised when I first moved to Arizona because there's a lot of Canadian part-time residents here, but they come and get their major work done and pay cash because they can get it done.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean that's very common, especially like an ophthalmic cataract surgery.
Mhm.
If you want a premium IOL, it's much faster and simpler to get that done in the States than in
Right.
Canada.
Yeah.
My friend was a urologist at Mount Sinai in New York, and people would come from Canada to have vasectomies because it was not that expensive, and they didn't want to wait 2 years because they might have a kid in that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, my grandma had to wait 6 months, or no, 9 months for her first eye for cataract surgery and 6 months for after that for the second eye.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So you're in Arizona now, Rhonda?
I am.
Is it as hot as they say it is? Because I heard there was like a heat wave. It
It's
was like
worse.
100.
The heat
It's
that
worse
dome.
than they say it is.
Dome.
It's
That was like
worse.
110 or 115 or something.
Well, it was 106 where I am
Oh,
today, and it was 114, I think, in Phoenix, because, the Doppler's at the airport. But it's really breezy, so it feels like when you open the door and go outside, you just walked into a convection oven. It's hot. It's really hot. And it went from very
it hasn't,
nice in May to really hot in just a
it
few
hasn't
days.
broken yet. It's still the same. It hasn't broken. I know California.
Mm-mm.
I have a friend in LA said it was brutal there also.
Yeah, they call it a heat cap when the heat comes in and sits predominantly along the coast. It sort of gets stuck there, and it's probably what's keeping us from having monsoons right now. So monsoon season starts in a couple weeks. So, but yeah, it's hot. It's miserable hot.
So it's like New Jersey in the winter. You stay inside then, and we
Mhm.
stay inside when it's snowing.
Yeah, when I lived in the San Francisco Bay Area, you spent a lot of time inside in the winter because it rained so much and it was cold and windy. So
Mhm.
it's just a different time of year.
Just don't lose your AC.
That's for sure.
I'm gonna knock wood for you because yeah, just like whenever you need a Zoom meeting that your Zoom has to update, whenever it's really hot is when your AC is gonna break or your heater breaks in the winter. So I am double knocking for you, Rhonda, because
Well, thank you.
yes, I don't
Mention the
at all.
AC is not going to go when it's 50 degrees because it's not
Right.
being used. It's
Right.
I
Yeah.
find, and David, you say, because I live in both places, everything breaks in Florida, and I don't know what it is. Air conditioning, refrigerators, cool stuff. They break more in Florida than in the Northeast. I guess it's just more challenging weather, more
I
humidity, more.
I think it's the humidity and stuff. I mean, it's
Yeah,
the weather's just hard on things here.
right. Don't you find
And
you're
the
always
sun.
replacing things?
I
Yes.
mean, everything just
But
gets blasted with the sun.
you a golfer?
I can golf.
Oh, then we can play. We should play for money then.
Miniature golf, right?
Yeah. I'm about a 10 handicap, so I'm okay. I'm not great like Craig Steinberg or something, but I can hold my own.
Oh,
But in
yeah.
Florida, you got to be after a while because you have so much time to do it, and you can go out there at 7 o'clock
I
at
have
night, and
three
when it's
kids, so I don't have much time to do much of anything.
uh, soccer, flag football, basketball, etc. Right?
They play baseball and they love baseball, breathe baseball. It's yeah.
Hmm.
Just a little bit of
Right.
trivia. I heard that the US beat Pakistan in cricket.
I heard
Yes.
that too. My husband told me that,
Yeah,
which is astounding.
How did they find people to play cricket here in the US?
becoming a popular sport. I guess there are enough immigrants, just like soccer has become very popular here. I guess there are enough immigrants to take it up.
Paul, if you ever saw the soccer fields on a Saturday morning, I think David would attest to this with baseball. So, there's a hotbed of youth soccer in America. It's been going on for 20, 30 years. So there's a lot of people playing, but as the athletes get good, they could be a good soccer player, but they'll choose baseball, football, basketball because it's just more popular in college.
Yep.
Yeah,
So,
soccer or football, as they call it in European and other countries, is yeah, professional soccer is just not as big a thing here in the US, which I find interesting because it's such a big thing for kids. So
well, took off for a while with Pele coming over once in the 70s and then again a little bit
in
more,
the
but it just never.
70s, I mean, that was a million years ago,
I
Steve.
understand it never, I was a kid, but it never really took hold. And I think it's because it's just not fun. Like David, it's fun to practice baseball, right? It's just fun to practice having a
Yeah,
catch
you
in the
go
ball.
out and throw a ball around in the front yard. I mean, it's fun.
It's not fun to practice soccer. It's just not fun. It's not any, you can kick a ball, a guy can be a goalie. It's just not fun.
Well, people like
Basketball,
to play
same.
football. They go out and play football.
Well, I would play touch football my whole life, but it's touch football with three guys on each side, and you play. It's fun. It's actually a fun game to play, not tackle football with pads and all that other stuff. But
Right. So why don't you
soccer
just play
is,
soccer 3-a-side?
Yeah, that you could do, yeah.
yes, if you can, but
But we don't.
you have to go down. Too much running. It's not fun.
Too much work. We'll pass
Yeah.
on that one.
Especially in Arizona where it's hot.
Oh,
Although I don't play pickleball, but a lot of my friends do, and they're all signing up for indoor courts.
Yep.
I think it was Bed Bath and Beyond that closed, and they converted a lot of those locations because they were huge to indoor pickleball courts. So
Wow.
to each their own, right?
I've never played it either, and I know that you either love it and you are out there all the time and you're playing it all the time, or you hate it and there's a court near your house and it's outside and all you hear is
Yeah.
the whack of the
Ping
ball
pong.
and it makes you crazy.
The one thing good, Gretchen, it's hard to play golf. It's hard to play baseball. It's hard to do a lot of other things. Tennis, hard. When you go out play pickleball the first time, you can play pickleball. That's the one thing
But
people
aren't
like.
you
It's not
playing,
that fun.
Are you
isn't
saying it takes no talent?
No, you could
it
basically
doesn't
play.
take talent to have fun playing pickleball.
Right. It's just, you don't feel like you're missing a golf ball. You can play. You might not be, there's very good players that'll kill you, but you could play and have a good time the first time you ever play. You can't do that in most other sports.
but
Yeah.
isn't pickleball like tennis with a ping pong paddle and a ping pong ball?
Yeah,
No,
but
it's,
okay.
think of it more like playing ping pong standing on the ping pong table.
Yeah.
Okay, isn't that the same thing as what I just said though?
Yeah, but the racket's shorter than a tennis racket. The ball is
Just
deader.
semantics.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the rules are such that it's really like hitting ball back. But there are very good players also. Now it's becoming a youth sport, and these younger 18, 20-year-old players are just fantastic. And the game looks different when you watch them on TV play than I played it. I was lucky enough to have my Achilles playing pickleball, so I'm a year out and you go back to playing it. But people get hurt playing pickleball. In fact, when I went to the orthopedic surgeon, he said, "This is the greatest thing that ever happened to me." Whether it be knees, Achilles, or shoulders. First of all, a lot of older people play it, not me, but a lot of older people play it, and a lot more injuries occur because of it. And their office is 50% filled with pickleball injuries.
But that's good that it's getting people active who may not have been earlier
Great,
because of
and
that. But
and you get
are the paddles bigger than a ping pong battle? Because it would really be hard to hit a ball with a ping pong paddle.
it's the size of, you ever played one wall paddle ball in New York City? It's a big sport. It's exactly
No,
that paddle.
no.
Or paddle tennis. We grew up playing that. It was against a cement wall with a little black ball, and there was lines and stuff. But it's that size, so it's basically
So is
what I
it bigger
think
than a ping pong paddle?
Yeah.
about three
Yeah.
times the size. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And you're saying that these orthopedic guys are seeing knee injuries too from it?
Knees, shoulders, and Achilles. Yeah,
And if it's knees,
because
I'm
when
not
you back
playing with
up,
them.
yeah, because it's a lot of quick motion. Even though it's like you said, standing on a table tennis court, it's you don't run a lot, but you do quick things. And if people
Oh,
don't
and you
warm
do
up,
some
don't like
pivoting.
that.
So if you're
Yeah.
pivoting, yeah, I'm not going to do that with my
And
knee.
I'm an athletic, and I tore my Achilles doing nothing. And you've seen people tear it, like the guy ran on the field from the Super Bowl, and he tore his Achilles running on the field. That injury occurs, you can do nothing to tear an Achilles. And
Wow.
yeah,
Just
I'm
running on the
running
field, you
again
can
now.
tear your Achilles?
Yeah, non-contact injury usually is. You know what the Achilles comes from? I can teach you some Greek mythology.
Oh, you
Why?
don't need to teach me, Steve. I am all the way up. I like Greek mythology.
You know
No
what?
need.
How Achilles? You know how Achilles,
Yes,
his mother,
holding by the heel, dipping him in. Yes.
right? It missed the hit. And what river was it?
It
The
it
river
wasn't the river
Styx.
Styx, was it? Was
Yes,
it
very
Styx?
good. Yep.
I was gonna say Styx.
And
Yes, I was a
Paris,
big fan of Greek mythology as a kid.
but Paris knew to shoot him in the heel and killed him. Never happened.
Hey, guys, I think I want to take off. How long?
You want to talk about pickleball?
Yeah, I think
Enough, enough trivia.
So
we've pretty well talked out also, Gretchen, and nobody else has showed up.
Yeah,
What's
I think
Adam
it's
dealing
been a
with?
rough night for people.
What is Adam dealing with? I hope nothing terrible for tomorrow.
Oh,
Do you know?
it's things with making sure that the class it's nothing that we can see now. It's not affecting us now. It's just making sure that the lobby classes are lining up. Like there's some like aspect ratio that's off. So he's
Okay.
trying to get that fixed. Yeah.
So it was up tomorrow at 9:30 Eastern time?
Mm-hmm.
But we changed our format, Rhonda and David, but we used to be basically doing a telethon from 10 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock at night.
Telethon. You make it sound like we're
Well,
Jerry
on-
We have to
Lewis
pay to
or
attend.
muscular dystrophy.
millions of people watching us. It was amazing. Millions would tune in from a TikTok channel, but now
Oh, and then
we
we'd have them
streamlined it.
call in with
Yes.
pledges, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't
And
that
polls
Labor
on
Day
the-
weekend
Too
that
funny.
that he did
That
that?
was Jerry Lewis.
Yeah, Labor Day weekend.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
watching that.
That and CP would be in the middle of the year. Cerebral palsy.
I don't remember a telethon for that. I just remember Jerry
Yeah.
Lewis.
hey guys,
No, it's good.
I'm
Can't
back.
remember the song.
Oh, you're back.
I'm back.
We were just
Yeah.
gonna call
Well,
it
that-
cocktail hour.
yeah, I think yeah. So I've actually
Yeah,
had a
there's very
count.
few people.
Yeah, so there's been, I just looked actually at the number of people who are coming through. There are people coming through and then leaving and going into the classrooms to take a look at the classes. So I've looked, we've had about 90 people come through based on the number of people. So they come into the lobby, watch us for 5 seconds and then run away.
Because they don't want to talk about
But they don't
pickleball.
want to talk about pickleball?
Yeah, so there are people here,
Yeah.
but yeah. So I mean, what I was actually doing is was just setting things up for tomorrow, getting all the classrooms set up, getting all the messaging set up properly, which hadn't been done yet, and then a couple of silly little like formatting errors are up on the site, like the pictures are on the course list or just looking. I mean, I could show you. It's just a little formatting thing. It doesn't actually affect the functionality.
That's what I was telling them. Something with
Yeah.
aspect ratio on the
Yeah, like the aspect ratio on the list of classes wasn't correct. Things like that, or something like if you actually looked like Steve's name on the list, he hasn't actually shown as a speaker right now. I don't know if you see that. So his account should be set as a speaker, right? Because he is one, and he's not actually being shown in the lobby as being a speaker. So we want to make sure tomorrow that everybody who is a speaker is actually shown as one.
If you click on my name, though, it says speaker, registered, and ticket holder. I get 3 designations.
Right. So, but we want the primary designation that shows on that list when you're typing stuff
Be a
as
speaker,
being a
yeah.
speaker, just like mine says something ridiculous like administrator or something.
realm
I thought you-
manager.
Yeah, I sound much more important than I am. So,
I want a fun title. I want to
So-
be Chief Annoyer or something like that.
so yeah. So I'm trying to just sort of take care of these details while everyone at Audentio is still there. Before because getting them tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. or whatever it's going to be is, always more fun. Better to take care of stuff while you're still alert than in the morning when you're groggy.
It just sounds like King to me.
All right.
Yeah, I think we're winding down. As Steve and I were talking, I think that a lot of our attendees, because we are on the 3rd live event of the year, a lot of folks have already been here. We don't have as many new people any longer. And it could also just be a Friday night in early June.
Yeah,
So
coming the night before. Yeah, so not too many people need to test out their accounts. The people that I am seeing coming through are new people who registered
That's
just for
good.
this event.
that's
So
good. Then they're using it for what it's for.
yeah, because
But
I'm
Adam, person I helped yesterday is actually here in the room now. So hi, Robert.
cool.
I'm glad he made it.
Excellent.
Hi, Robert. You're able to get here.
Cool. Yeah, so I mean, that's why I encourage people to come the Friday night before, because if they can make it in here, it means their account is set up properly, right? Because if they're not using their account properly or they're not logged in or whatever, it'll just bounce them out. So that's why. But for so many people who signed up in February, they're permanently just in here, right? So they don't need to come and test their account. They know it's going to work. And if there's bombs, that means everybody's is bombing, so it's not their
I'm knocking
problem.
wood again, not only for Rhonda and her air conditioning, but for nothing bombing and everything working tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm hopeful
Our
too.
accounts, I mean.
Hopeful too. You know, we had that little technical glitch at the beginning of the last one. It's always the first class that always gets the brunt of it, right? If something's not set up properly. But hopefully it'll be okay tomorrow, and we'll go from there. So yeah, should be good though. Other than that, you know, we have a bunch of interviews that you did, Gretchen. So we're going to be showing those off tomorrow. That'll be fun.
Yep, including one with Rhonda and one with Bill Tulo
Yep.
from Oculus. So yeah, lots of good stuff, good conversations, and I was happy to have the opportunity to talk with folks.
Great. Yeah, so they were fun. I actually listened to some of them already as I was doing some editing work. So yeah, it was really kind of cool to hear everybody. I didn't, you know, I unfortunately I was busy doing this other administrative nonsense. When you spoke with the folks at Oculus, did you start talking about Wave and everything else and the vertical?
Oh, he's still here right now. It's
Oh.
David.
Oh, David's still here. He hasn't died of boredom.
I'm still
listening to
hanging
me.
out. You haven't gotten rid of me yet.
Because we were talking about pickleball.
Yeah, so I was just curious, you know, with the acquisitions that you guys have just made, if that's something that you guys brought up tonight, because that's kind of what's been on everyone's mind.
I've fed him some softballs, but he never wanted to go
No,
above
we
that. Go
talked
ahead,
about
Dave.
we talked about some other stuff. We talked about the Keratograph a little bit. We talked about IPL a little bit and kind of trade show dynamics and what we're seeing on the device side and that sort of thing. But no, we didn't really talk about the acquisitions. So it's it's been a it's been a kind of an exciting time at Oculus to see us really branch out of the diagnostic only space, where we've kind of been this agnostic diagnostic company. I know, kind of ridiculous rhyme, but and now we've kind of had to pick sides a little bit, where we've gotten into the IPL and radio frequency treatment, like we talked about, and then also on the contact lens side.
Yep.
And we've it's just really cool because we have such a broad portfolio now between iPrint, AVT, and Wave, where there's something for everybody. If you like the trial lens sets and that way of fitting lenses, then AVT is a great option to go. If you're super techy and want to do crazy things with ortho-K lenses, then Wave is an amazing platform that really allows you to do some really technical things with ortho-K lenses and scleral lenses. And then iPrint for those patients where you can't collect data on a traditional profilometer or topographer, you can get the impressions and that sort of thing. So kind of having something for everybody is very cool. And we haven't really forgotten kind of where we came from with these companies. So I mean, the Wave still works very closely with Medmont and that sort of thing with their software, just like with Pentacam, we work with other companies, whether it's Boston Sight or B&L with ZenLens and that kind of thing. So that's been kind of something we've had to juggle a little bit as far as how do we maintain our collaboration across all of these different platforms. And I think we've kind of got a good plan going forward on that, but we're really excited about the portfolio we have.
I'm
Awesome.
really excited about it too. I think it's going to be great. And those two companies, I mean, a lab and getting all of that in with what you're currently doing, I think it's going to be gangbusters.
Yep. Yep.
And the other important thing we talked about, not to derail a bit, but I will, is Adam, would you confirm what baseball team you support?
Oh, do I have to?
Yes, you do.
So, of course, you know, I was born, you know, in Manhattan, but grew up in the Bronx for a few years. But then my formative years we're actually very close to Queens, right? So the team that I support tragically is the Mets, because that as
Oh.
a teenager, that's where you get on the train and you go to Shea Stadium. That's what one does. Now, this is a tragedy in some ways, right? Because had I just sort of lived in the Bronx a little longer, then I could, associate myself with a winner.
See,
So,
Paul
Yeah,
was
but I mean,
right.
back then, I mean, Mike Piazza, I mean, that's some good baseball right there.
yeah,
1986,
yep. And now,
good
of
year.
course, they're they define dysfunction, and they're probably humiliating the entire United States over in London tomorrow. So I'm just gonna,
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
wait,
going.
they're in London? They're going to play the Phillies then.
Yes.
Yeah, the best
Yeah.
team in baseball.
Mhm. Well, I think the Yankees have a better record, but they're close.
Well, we did have to confirm that because, Paul chimed in. He thought it was the Mets, and then when he said that, that sounded familiar to me. And Steve said, of course, he was a Yankees fan, and David wasn't having any of that. So, I just thought it would be nice to confirm what
That
team
is
you supported.
that is
So,
the
yes,
truth.
we added you as a Mets fan.
Great.
So, David, you don't say progress, you say progress, right?
I say progress.
Oh, so you.
You say a boot?
I'm really sorry about that.
Oh, that made me laugh. I needed a laugh. It's late. Well, it's late for you too. It's yes. You're really sorry about needing to say a boot in progress.
Yeah.
Getting a little punchy.
Let's see who's here. Say hello to them.
Sorry?
Actually, there's a nice rotation of people coming and going, so it's not the same.
Right, and so it's a little bit,
150
it's
people.
different. Yeah, so Steve, it's different because we're starting later this time. You're getting some West Coast people as well.
Yep.
So that's the real key, because I got yelled at over and over again for doing this so early, usually, by people on the West Coast. Because here it's only what it's 6:30, and so when we used to do this starting at like, what was it, 3 o'clock my time, people here are still at work, right? They're still in clinic, so they couldn't test their accounts. So it's kind of nice to see West Coast people coming by.
Okay. That one person I helped was from California, correct? He was just here.
Yep.
Maybe we need to split shift it for the first CE Wire next year.
I think
So we do it for the East Coast, just getting off work, and then we take a couple hours off, and then we come back again.
Yep. Or I
I'm
could just
kidding. I'm kidding.
I could just sit here and eat the whole time. I mean, that's the thing, right? Because people don't really need to hear us, right? Other than they just like to wander in and say hi. So it's no great shakes actually sitting here and doing this.
We could
Gretchen,
keep
don't
the
laugh.
camera on, and guess what Adam's having for dinner? You could just have like those dog videos where people put the plate in front of the dog to see, all right, are they going to eat the snap peas or something? We could just have your family keep putting dishes in front of you to
There you
see
go.
if,
And in fact, if they put a dish in front of me right now, I wouldn't even know what they were putting in front of me. So it could even be a fun game where I just randomly
Yeah.
try stuff and see what happens.
well, the dogs don't know what it is. I
Yeah.
mean, the owner tells the dogs what it is. Like, okay, we're going to try snap peas, and like, oh, they spit it out. They don't want that. So yes, I think we should try that.
Well, I'm hoping by
I just
tomorrow.
noticed something, Adam. Remember a couple years ago we were getting credits for we were trying to get credits for Europe and England.
Mhm.
What would we have done with the schedule then if we had Germany and France and England? Maybe go 24 hours.
Oh my God.
We would be drinking heavily is what we would have been doing.
Well, I had to host one of these things that we're doing right now for a certain large equipment vendor during the pandemic, and it was for Asia. It was for their Asian market. So
God.
we went on the air at 1 a.m. So I set up here around midnight, and we went on at 1 a.m. and we broadcast until I think 8 or 9 my time. So that was not fun.
I was going to show you my dog. He jumped up in the middle of everything.
I was hoping that's what you had there, and I've got a little cat here. Let's see. Come here, Jake. Oh, don't pull the. This is not one you normally see. He is our tiny kitty, and he doesn't want to be sociable. So no.
And by the way,
Too
as we're
much.
sitting here, guys, we're getting people registering for the conference. So as we've been talking over the past 10 minutes, 3 people have registered. So for people who just registered right now, they may just try to enter like right now. So you may see some people coming across who have never been to a CEwire before, have no idea what's going on, who just got their registration done and are now coming in for the first time and seeing this.
They are dying for sparkling pickleball and baseball conversation.
Too funny. I'm gonna pop off for a minute. I'll be back.
Will we be here is the question.
Yeah.
I know I'm not
Adam,
going anywhere.
I've done a similar thing for you before because interestingly enough, we handle all the US government sales out of the US, no matter where it is in the world. So we have the US military has Pentacams all over the place. And so we do remote trainings like in Okinawa, Japan, or something like that, for example. So I'm in the East Coast of the US and I have to do a remote training in Okinawa, Japan while their clinic's open. So it's like, yeah, logging on at 2 o'clock in the morning, trying to talk high level clinical Pentacam stuff with somebody.
Oh,
I feel your
wow.
pain.
At least they
And-
speak English.
And you have kids too, and having kids makes it hard because obviously you still have life going on around you, even though you're having to do a work event at 2 a.m.
Yeah, but that doesn't happen that often, but I think it's kind of cool getting a chance to do that because it's getting to work with the military bases and stuff like that is cool. They're always some of my favorite doctors to work for and do trainings for. They really carve out a lot of time for you. It's good.
That's cool. That's really cool. Just too bad that some of them are at 2 a.m.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's amazing. I mean, just in the last year, we've sold equipment to Bahrain, Germany, Italy, Japan, Korea. Yeah.
Wow. That's impressive.
And you don't have offices over there or places where people can see the equipment?
No. So basically the military group people are very transient, so they move around a lot. And what happens is like, I mean, Guam, we sold a Pentacam to Guam earlier this year. And so at the hospital in Guam, before they got their Pentacam, they would have to fly sailors, mostly Navy in Guam, to Japan in order to do their LASIK evals. So
Oh,
it's very expensive to keep flying sailors to Japan whenever they need a LASIK eval. So it just makes sense for them to have a Pentacam at the
Sure.
base of Guam. And same thing
Pays
with
for itself. Huh?
Okinawa. Okinawa was having to fly all the Marines there for LASIK evals to mainland Japan.
too bad you don't get to go and do installations for some of these really cool locations.
Yeah, I mean, it's the one that I was really bummed that they didn't want on-site installation. Sometimes they do want on-site installation, but usually for that, we'll have our local distributor for that country go in and do the on-site portion. But last year, the US Navy base in Guantanamo Bay ordered a Pentacam.
Oh boy.
So
You were
I
closest?
really wanted to go on that install just to say that I've been to Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, but they wanted remote, so we did remote for that.
Cuba is one of the places that, I mean, maybe not Guantanamo Bay, but I'd like to go to Cuba just to feel like I stepped into the 1950s, seeing all the cars, and I think that would be really cool.
Wait, back up for a second. I just missed that. They ordered a Pentacam? Or were they making sclerals? What were they doing?
I don't know what they use it for, but yes, the US Navy base in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba has a Pentacam.
Huh. Now that's interesting.
Let's not hope it's not the CIA interrogating.
I don't think you could torture
That's
people
where-
with a Pentacam.
Where our Tox dollars go. Pentacams to fit soft lenses.
Yeah. So
I wasn't aware, a lot of the military have LASIK, because I didn't know they could actually have LASIK.
last time I checked, and I mean, it may have changed, but last time I checked, the US military was the largest provider of refractive surgery in the world.
Wow. Could
I didn't know
pilots have
that.
LASIK? I'm not sure.
It depends on the branch. They tend to do more PRK just
Really?
because it's more stable, like when you're dealing with explosions and high G forces
That makes sense. Yeah, they're
and
not
things like
gonna
that.
disrupt the cap or anything.
Yeah.
And it's Marines, so they do it with anesthesia.
What was
Give them
that?
a stick to
It's
bite them.
Marines, they do it without anesthesia, the PRK.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Yeah.
Here's a bullet, just put it in your mouth.
Yeah. So because of that, the US government is also the largest Oculus customer in the world.
Wow.
Now,
Yeah.
see, look at all these little bits of trivia that we're getting this
I'm
evening.
writing it all down.
Yeah.
That's really interesting, especially Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah, and another little tidbit is at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, where they do all of the screening for fighter pilots in
Mhm.
Ohio. They have they put so much volume through there. They have two Pentacam AXL waves sitting right next to each other, and they just pull the officers through there. But the Pentacam is the one key device that determines whether the pilot's cornea is safe to fly from a pachymetry and curvature standpoint.
Oh, wow. That is really interesting. But I
Yeah.
bet you they do a whole lot more than what, 27 in 6 years.
Oh yeah. It I mean, so every US Air Force fighter pilot since I think the first Pentacam went in there like in 2010 or 2012 has gotten a Pentacam.
Wow.
So the amount of data that they have in there is probably insane.
Do you have
I
any units with NASA? Now I'm really curious because I know that they subject their astronauts to
think so, yeah.
really close examinations of their eyes.
So they're looking at putting it hasn't launched yet, but they just acquired a smart field perimeter to take to the International Space Station.
Whoa.
So I don't know when that all is going down. So they're
I think I read recently that visual fields are affected in space, and maybe they want to test them more thoroughly. A couple months ago.
that's the idea. Yep. Yeah, and the smart field is very compact and it's LCD based, so it's very, very stable.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What we do in World War One.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean we're super active with the US government and military VA systems, all that kind of stuff.
Cool.
It's just amazing, that technology. I love the Pentacam. It's just a great instrument. Fun to play with also.
Yeah.
When you try to show the patient and explain it, they really get it when they see the imagery.
Yeah, I can't say I've ever had anyone come up to me and tell me that the Pentacam is just not a very good instrument. I don't think that's ever happened once. So that's kind of cool.
Any improvements that are being made, or any additions that you can't kill me if you tell me?
Well, you'll
Coming
have
down the
to
road?
listen to my conversation with Bill Tulo.
Okay, he told you that stuff.
No, I'm
Yeah.
just kidding. David, you should certainly tell Steve.
I probably shouldn't say anything because I don't know what I'm allowed to say and what I'm not. So I'll leave that up to Bill.
So
Okay.
that means that, yes, something is coming at some point.
Yeah, I
You
thought
notice
I
you
heard
didn't say
something
no.
from the grapevine. Remember, Bill's a friend.
Yeah.
When he doesn't say no, you know that there's something.
Yep.
There's always something. The Germans are busy over there, always cooking something up.
Yet the sales force is in the United States.
Yeah.
Hey, Ed, you want to wind this up, or we?
Yeah, so I'm just looking here. I'm seeing, we just have a few people coming in. So yeah, we probably could wind it up, and then I hate to ace anybody out. Like, you guys don't have to stick around here if you really don't want to. I can hang out though in the lobby at least, just to greet people if they come in. Just because we are getting people signing up for the conference now. I always urge people to sign up for the conference early, and nobody ever listens to me. They always wait.
Tomorrow morning we get an influx the morning of. Always.
Yep. Because like they always wait, and then if somebody has a problem, it's like, well, what am I supposed to do, right? We get overwhelmed at the last minute. So I always urge people to sign up early. But we always seem to get a whole bunch of people who wait.
ODwire immediately?
Yeah, so the people, so again, if they're new to ODwire, they need to have me manually validate them, right? This is what makes ODwire different from all other systems, is when somebody signs up for it, they don't automatically get in. I have to vet them, which means I have to actually look up their record. I have to see if they are who they say they are and so forth before I let them in, which doesn't take me very long because I've done it for so long. But I still have to do it. But tonight, it looks like most of the people who signed up are already ODwire members. So they don't have to be validated. They just sign up for CEwire and away they go.
Oh, so they're ODwire members who are just signing up for CEwire, not total
Correct.
newbies.
We had 2 tonight who were complete newbies who I'd never seen before, and I validated their accounts straight away while you guys were talking about pickleball. So, because the thing is,
yes, there was no regrets, and I was trying to help this fellow who was IT challenged, and I had to see the registration form, but every time I went online, it knows me, and I couldn't register because I already am registered. So I went on my wife's computer, who it doesn't know this site, and I started registering her. I got to the end, and Adam vetted her, let her in at the conference, saw who it was, and I was able to tell him he was having trouble with CAPTCHA. You know what that is? When you have to click the boxes. He couldn't do it, so he brought his staff member over to do it. He tried 10 times, and he couldn't pick out the wheels or the bridges or the roads or whatever.
yeah.
He was
Oh,
challenged,
poor
let's just
guy.
say.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's CAPTCHA it's a two-edged sword for us. So the reason that we have CAPTCHA in place is obviously because if we didn't, we'd be under attack constantly. And as it stands, each day we probably get 2 or 3 bots who are able to evade our CAPTCHA and attempt to register for the site. So they make it through that part of it. They actually do register. I get notification here, you have a new registrant, and I have to go look.
And they pay?
No, not for CEwire, for the ODwire piece. So the CEwire piece,
Okay.
again, also has a CAPTCHA, but for ODwire, we've seen people evade it, or not people, bots evade it, but it's obvious when they actually sign up that they are bots, right? I can tell immediately, straight away, this is not a human being. And especially when you check where they're usually not from the US, right? Their application looks incredibly funky. When they put down their school, it's not a real school. So I can immediately delete them. But it's amazing to me that even with the CAPTCHA in place, a couple each day can evade it, which tells me that if I didn't have that CAPTCHA there, I would be just overwhelmed with these fake registrations every day.
That's so crazy.
Talking about ODwire,
Hmm?
I want to put my editor's hat on. Do you have anyone that's using your product yet that's an optometrist that we could possibly get to have a discussion on ODwire on your topic?
Which topic would that be?
Yeah, you got me also. What are you referring to?
I'm on ODwire now, and with the official thread that Rhonda is on.
Oh, Rhonda's, okay.
Anyone
Okay.
on other than you and me, Steve. So it would be great to find an optometrist that's using the product that can talk about it to get a conversation going.
Maybe Rhonda could probably recommend somebody. I would think ODwire is free, so it's not a big deal.
It
Just
would
to get
need to be somebody who's available on the weekend and who wants to discuss their business plan.
No,
on
I'm
your thread.
talking on
On
the
your thread could be.
forum.
Yeah,
If we could get some optometrists to start talking, we could start a conversation on ODwire.
hmm
That someone the product and saying, hey, here's my experience and this is what happened.
You could be a dentist if you give us the heads up, and Adam would let them in just so they could, because it makes no difference whether it's dentistry, optometry, or veterinary medicine,
Mhm.
US service.
Yeah, but to be easier
Well,
with
think
an
about it.
it's
If
an
you have one satisfied customer who wants to do it, because the site runs 24/7, 365. As long as they comment, people will see it after the fact, not in real time, but really after the fact.
Yeah,
All right, guys. So I
Just-
think,
did some research there.
yeah. So Rhonda, if you do want to bring someone, just shoot me an email and I can get them on and we can get them in, because it would be
Okay.
interesting. I mean, I know that you just started in the eye care space, so you probably don't have too huge of a sample right now. But dentistry, I'm sure you do. If there's anybody that wants to talk about
Yeah.
their experience, I'd love to actually talk to them.
This
And
concept's the same, yeah.
yeah,
Okay. I can do that.
cool.
It's a good idea.
All right. So
Absolutely.
I think what we're going to do is wrap up the Zoom. I don't want to hold everybody here tonight because it's ridiculous too. Because I know we have a long day tomorrow morning. So I'll end the Zoom. I'm going to actually keep the lobby open here. So if people come in,
Yeah.
we can communicate with them.
I'll hang around also, Adam.
Great.
All right. Well, hey, it was very nice to meet all of you guys, and it was fun hanging
Yes.
out.
And come by
Nice
and
to
say
see
hello.
everybody.
Rhonda, thanks for jumping on. Always great to see you. And David,
Thanks.
it was nice to virtually meet you, and you're a fun guy to chat with as well. So we'd love to have you back on as well. And this was just a great conversation with everybody. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
I hope
All right.
you guys
guys.
have a good meeting tomorrow.
All right. Thank you.
We
All right.
always do.
Thank you guys.
Have a good evening tonight.
All righty.
A nice weekend.
Good night.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See, we have two people in the room. It's funny how we said different people, but always we never had 47. Yeah, we got diverted in our conversation because we ran out of things to talk about.
Okay, guys, I think we're gonna shut down the Zoom.
What time do you want us at tomorrow, Ed?
The usual, early.
15 Eastern?
Too early? Yeah, so get here, no later than 6:15 my time, 9:15 Eastern.
I'm gonna be a little later. It's farmer's market day.
I know.
I'm leaving.
Yep.
I'm leaving at 10:30.
All right.
10 actually. Okay. So
Good night, Paul. Good night, Steve.
Good night. I'll hang around in the lobby for a few minutes.
Okay.
See if I can
Okay.
answer some questions. Where's my leave? Make like a tree and leave.
Oh boy. All right, Gretchen. Well, just me and you for a few minutes, I guess.
Well, Steve is gonna hang out in the lobby.
And I'm gonna.
Oh, Robert actually commented to us saying that he actually used it for what it was supposed to be, which is good.
Yep, testing his account. Why is this thing acting? It's so funny. We do this so many times, and it's always something different tech-wise where I have a challenge. And I'm just looking here at my little system here where I put up slides. It's like it's lagging, which is hilarious. So, anywho, well, so anybody who's left in the lobby, I guess Robert's still there. So I'm just gonna hang out here. So you're gonna see me, and I can't see you, which is the even better part. I can't see anything. So I'm sitting here half blind.
You're really selling it.
I know. I mean, my dedication, right? It's coming through in spades, actually, sitting here doing this when I really can't see. Although I have to say the ulcer is getting a lot better. Charlie really did a good job, so.
Well, let's also be clear that you could choose to see.
That's
if
true.
you
I
wear your
could
glasses.
put on a pair of specs. That's true. But you know what?
Are
I'm
you
not
wearing-
going to. You know why I'm not going to? Because with the lights, the way they are in here right now, if I put these things on, all you're going to see is just the light bouncing off of them because they don't have a good
Like that.
AR code. So, And you probably have some sort of AR code on those that I can still see a reflection.
Yeah, that's why it's green.
Yeah.
That's why I
Yep.
always try to put my head up a
Right.
little bit.
But for me, the things
you're
that I
not
have
getting the
here,
reflection from the
the
monitor.
things I have here, no AR code. It'll just be like, you'll be seeing, straight back. So I can't do it. I just got to leave them off. So.
Do you have at least your contact lens in your other eye?
So no, I took it out for an abundance of caution, because I still don't know what actually caused this. And so I just want to make completely sure that whatever pissed my body off is not going to attack the other eye for a little while.
What exactly did you have? Was it an infiltrate? Was
Yeah,
it
so
an erosion? Was it?
Charlie called it a sterile ulcer, is what he called it. And it is. I mean, you can see it. It's pretty nasty looking. But I was at my friendly neighborhood rheumatologist today, and
I was going to ask you about
she
that.
gave me the shoulder shrug. I told her what happened, and she was like, I don't know. I am coming off of those steroids, right, last week, and it is something of a coincidence that this would happen to me. A person who's been wearing contact lenses for 40-something years, right? And this happens to me a week after I taper off a pretty powerful steroid. So
What did Charlie have to say?
he gave a
about
shoulder
that?
shrug too. He's like, yeah, it's probably contact lens wear. And it could probably, it could be, right? It could just be a coincidence. I don't know. So I'm just
I've had only one contact lens related challenge, and that was, and I'm going to sound like such a complete moron. When was this? I think it was not long after I left Jobson, I think. Or no, it was after I left Elsevier. Yeah. So after I left Elsevier, and apparently I thought that I had taken a lens out, and I hadn't, and it had really slipped up far under my lid. So yeah, so that was just me, I guess, being stupid and not paying attention one night. But I'm gonna knock wood now for me, because of contact lens wear for as many years as I have had them, and being such a fan of continuous wear that I am. Yeah, so I'm gonna knock again because I don't want any problems.
Yeah, mistakes can happen like that, knock wood. But it does bring up an interesting question, though, even for dedicated contact lens wearers like you or me. Do you have a pair of specs that you can rely on if you need to?
Always.
So
And do you know that I always pack them in my suitcase when I travel?
really.
Oh my God, yeah.
Hmm.
Because I would not see shit. What am I? Like plus 250? And I need a high ad.
Yeah.
You and I have similar scripts, right?
375.
So you're worse than me.
Way worse. I can't see anything.
So yeah, so I really can't. It used to be that I could, before I became presbyopic, I know I've told this story, that one of the reasons that I like continuous wear so much is I would forget to put my contact lenses on in the morning. This is when I worked at Contact Lens Spectrum. I would go to the office, and by mid-morning I'd have a headache, and I'd realize, oh crap, I forgot to put my lenses on. And so that's why I got into continuous wear, because then I wouldn't forget. And now I take my lenses off, my multifocals, I can't see for shit.
Yeah.
Getting old sucks.
It's depressing.
So you're a plus 375, and you're probably walking around your house and
I
like,
can't see
"Whoa."
anything. Yeah, completely blind. It's a disaster. And I wish I could flip the monitors around so you could see, like, the text is like 80 point.
Oh, and you're probably not doing yourself any favors then with the lights. You probably have a raging headache.
Well, yeah, I've been taking painkillers, so that's taking the edge off, which is good.
You know what? Have your glasses nearby tomorrow, and then just yank them off when we need to go live,
Yeah.
because for you to have, that's not good. That's
Yeah.
not good at all.
So, yeah.
Not good, sir. Not good.
It's been a week. So
And it looks like there's a whole lot of nobody here now. You, me, Steve, and Robert Mulgrew.
And that's it. Good.
I said hi to a few minutes ago, and I don't think he's replied.
Yeah, it's really funny actually looking at the number of views that we're getting of the lectures. So people pop in here and pop out, and then they go straight into the lectures to see what's going on, even though there's nothing there yet, right? There's just a countdown timer
Yeah.
because it keeps track
Well,
of the count of how many people are there. So we know the people did show up tonight. They just don't want to hear us blabbing.
yeah. Well, Robert did say hi. I apologize. Robert said hi about 9 minutes ago, and maybe he just didn't log out yet. Are
Yeah.
on-demand classes still available?
So they are. I asked Jake to put them off because I forgot, right? With everything that's been going on here, I feel badly actually because I kind of snapped at him a little bit before. Because he's like, I didn't know you guys were doing something tonight. And I'm like, whoops. I forgot to mention it, right? I figured he would know since we always do something before to test everybody's account. But normally the week before CEwire, I'm much more in touch with the folks at Audentio, and I'm going back and forth with them. Like literally this week, I haven't spoken to anybody because I've been laid up. It's like,
Yeah. I'm telling you, we're cursed.
yeah. So I'm just hoping that tomorrow morning goes well because like this is, in terms of prep time, probably the worst job I've ever done. In terms of actually like, really being prepared, looking everything over. Like today when I disappeared from you guys, I was in there setting things up for tomorrow morning that I normally would have done, days ago. And I'm like, oh crap, this has to get done. And I just didn't. So.
Well, has it been worse than when you were in the hotel and had the power outage in February?
So that was an interesting problem, but that actually wasn't as bad because once we did make it to the hotel, they had internet. So I didn't have my whole rig, but I did have a laptop that worked so I could do stuff. Yeah. By the way, I think we're going to get a generator for next year. I think Meredith has had enough. She doesn't want to go through no power for a week again.
I don't
So,
blame her. I mean, after Hurricane Sandy, we got one because I said to Troy, I can do cold, I can do dark, but I can't do both at the same time.
yeah,
But the only problem with that is that he never wants to drag it out. Whenever he's like, oh, well, we'll wait and see if it comes back on. And I mean, it's easier now that he's retired and he's home. But when he was working, I mean, yeah, I mean, Troy was one of those diehard through rain, sleet, snow, dark of
right.
night kind of mail carriers that he would shovel his car out and go to work half an hour away. And yeah, so he
Yeah,
was never very anxious to drag the generator out. And what I really wanted, and we've talked about but never done, is built because it lives in our garage. And depending upon what he's doing in the garage, it might have 8,000 things there piled on
right.
top
It's
of it.
buried.
And we're talking about having like some little structure
Hmm.
outside for it to live in, because you have to be careful, especially if your power goes out and it's raining and you're using a generator, that you don't want rain to get on it.
Yeah.
And our neighbor across, next to us and across the street, both got those like continuous generator
That's what
things. I
that's what
forget
we're
what
looking
it's
at right
called.
now. We're looking at one of the permanent ones that comes on automatically.
Oh, yeah. All right. So you're
So,
looking at spending a huge ton of money. We just have the one that you put gas in and plug shit
well, I
into.
mean, our feeling was like we don't want half measures because if we really lose power again, we're just going to go to a hotel, right? If we're going to stay here, we want to stay here. And if I have to do CEwire, I want to be able to do CEwire. So we're looking into it, and we have natural gas here in the house, right? So it's very easy to get a natural gas generator.
Natural gas is what we have too.
Yeah.
But
So
are you sure you want to invest that amount of money into a house that you might not be in for the rest of your
normally I
lives?
would say no, but after what we've been through these past few years, the answer might be yes, because how many more times does our power company have to screw us besides what just happened in February? This past summer, we were without power for 3 days because they had an equipment failure. It's like our infrastructure is buried here. What kind of a failure can you possibly have? But yeah. So in the year before that, we had a 2-day outage. So it's getting more and more frequent now where we're getting these outages. So we just don't want to be
Well,
stuck.
I was sitting outside earlier today, as you know, when we were doing our recording, and the breeze really picked up and it took one of our umbrellas off the table, which I had to fix because that's not good. And then I finally thought about it. It has been really, really windy. And so I did a little research, and it turns out that climate change is affecting wind patterns,
Hmm.
that we are getting a lot more, that just our whole country is windier. And it has certainly been windier here that I've noticed it like the past year or two. But yeah, with climate change, it is affecting extreme weather. And so, I mean, maybe that's what's hitting you out there.
Yeah. So yeah, we're looking into the generator. We haven't pulled the trigger yet. We're getting quotes and stuff, but we'll see. I don't
You
know.
are just, I mean, your house is going to be in the movie The Money Pit now, because this year you don't even want to count up, or
No.
maybe the last 2 years with the appliances, the mold,
Yeah,
the
the
leak,
leak, then the
the
deck,
deck,
the AC, which
the
did
AC,
it with the last disaster. So yeah.
and how many new appliances you got. And I'm just waiting for your like tub to fall through the
So
ceiling or
the
something.
only
That'll be
thing, because
next.
Meredith and I were talking about it, we're like, okay, the only system that has not failed yet that's going to be expensive to replace is the roof. I'm just waiting, right? I'm just waiting for the roof to start leaking and have to be replaced. So that's
How
the
old
last
is
big one.
your roof?
14. So it's not super old, but with our luck, it'll start leaking. So yeah. So I don't
We
know.
were talking about the roof here too, that it's incredible how you replace things and then it comes around again and you think, didn't I just replace that?
Yep.
And we had our roof done not long after we moved here. She couldn't have been, I think she was a baby, and she's going to be, Jesus, 28 in October. So our roof is now more than 25 years old, and I guess that's usually what your warranty is. I guess I
Yep.
better, yeah. When you start thinking about all that, like, oh crap, it's going to come around
I
again.
don't want to think about it.
All right, this is getting depressing now.
Yes, very depressing. All right, well, I think I'm going to take off then because now we're totally alone here. And
Well, Robert was saying, oh, I think I'll leave to let you go do your thing. And I said, no, you need to do what you need to do. I mean, I'm not sure if I have to keep refreshing to get the accurate count of who's here. Oh yeah, it's just us chickens and just Steve. Hi, Steve.
yeah, so we should probably go because I have to do a lot of editing anyway. So
Put your glasses
and I'll
on.
put my glasses on for that. So all right, so I'll be here at, well, you won't be here. You're going to be at the farmer's market, so forget it. So Steve, if you're still listening, if you want to get here by like 9:15 tomorrow or 6, oh, wait a minute, you're not going to be here, but you set up the Zoom link. You have to be here.
I think I can fix it, right? I think I made all the Zoom links so you can, hold on.
Yeah, make sure that I can start it. If not, what I'll have to do is just kill it and just give a different Zoom link to everybody. Not a big deal.
Well, especially that we haven't handed it out to anyone.
Right, so that doesn't really matter.
Yeah, all right, then I'm not going to worry about it. It should be fine because
Okay.
I think I fixed my Zooms so that I don't know what the hell happened tonight.
Yeah, that was weird.
And it happened last time too.
Yeah.
Because when I talked to MacuHealth about coming on, they tried to come on last time and I didn't realize that they were having trouble.
Yeah.
And and I wanted to say, oh, it won't happen again, but I think Zoom doesn't like the Friday night link.
Yeah, so anyway, if it screws up tomorrow, what I'll do is like immediately just create a new link and I'll send it to you. So when you finally get in, you'll see here's the one we're actually using. And I'll
Yeah,
just
I'm
send
hoping
to
it won't
Steve and Dad.
it won't be too long after. I mean, it'll be before we all go live.
Right.
I mean, before the classes start.
Yep. All right, sounds good. Well, I'm going to get to editing. Thanks for coming out tonight. And let me shut all this off.
Make sure you get some sleep. Don't stay up really late.
I absolutely will. Maybe. All right.
I'll text Meredith and tell her to make you go to bed.
Sounds good. All right.
All right.
Well, I will catch
See you
you.
manana. Bye, Steve, if you're still there.